Hey guys, so I wanted to jump on here real quick and do a training on why debt is actually good and why I personally have always had debt to accelerate crucial and important areas of my life and how this might apply to you. So before you jump on and hear that and go, whoa, Mike, debt's not good. Dave Ramsey says debt is bad. Or maybe you grew up hearing from your parents, don't have a credit card or it hurts your credit. I agree. There are two different mindsets around debt. See, there's the poor mindset, which I agree with. And the poor mindset that I would call is using debt, like credit cards, to accelerate your appearance or image socially. In other words, using debt to buy things, clothes, cars, vacations, things that you cannot afford yet, but yet you're using credit to accelerate your image. Does that make sense? That's what I would call the poor mindset around debt. But then there's also what I call the wealthy or the rich mindset around debt. And that is using debt for good, to accelerate yourself, to accelerate your growth, and to accelerate your opportunities moving forward. In fact, I had a mentor, multiple 8-figure business owner, tell me that he always carries debt. And that debt is good when used the right way. Grant Cardone says the same thing. So again, yes, I agree. Debt is bad when followed through or being used for the poor mindset. But when understood for the right reasons, debt is actually a really good thing. And the biggest mistake I see people make, and I've seen myself make at times that held me back to achieving the things in life that I knew were good for me, is the mindset of, I can't afford it right now, so I'll wait and I'll save up for it. Now, why is that mentality a big mistake, especially for things that you need or will accelerate your growth in life? Well, a couple things. One, if you need it and it's good for you, why wait? Success loves speed. But on top of that, procrastinating, delaying, and waiting is a habit. How many of you have ever noticed that before? Like, all right, I'll save up and wait for it. I'll wait, and in 6 months, I'll be ready. 16 months later, how many of you, even 6 years later, you still haven't achieved that goal? I can only say that to you because I've been there before. I've done that, and that's one of the biggest regrets I think people experience is when they say they're going to get to it, and then they look back and they're like, wow, I still haven't gotten to it. So think about the things that you need that you wouldn't save and wait for it. If your relationship was really on the rocks, your marriage was on the rocks, and there was a counselor that you knew with confidence could save your marriage, would you say, well, wait and save for it and then get to it? By then, the marriage or relationship could be over. If you needed your car to get to work, and it needed a new tire, would you say, I'm going to wait and save for it? I guess I just can't go to work for now? No, you'd find a way to pay for it. What about your education? What about your health? If there was something within your health that you needed to take care of right now that was actually life-threatening, can you imagine saying, but doc, I got to wait and save for it? Well, you might be dead by then. So you get my point, is that if there's something that's really important that will accelerate your life that you could treat like a need, the biggest mistake you can make that's holding you back from growth with your business, your body, and your overall fulfillment is the mindset of I will wait and I will save for it. And part of that reason is because statistics show that when we wait, that our actual execution or follow through to ever getting to it statistically starts to decrease every time we say I'll wait for it, because procrastinating, again, is a habit. And I'll give you 2 examples of where I've utilized debt in a really positive way. When I graduated college, I wasn't great at business right away. And I actually needed a credit card just to pay for groceries and different office expenses to stay open. Now, some might say, well, debt is bad. Well, I'm really glad that I did that and I didn't delay, because over the next 2 years, I turned that business from a struggling, can I really make this work business, into a multiple 7-figure generating business and a high 6-figure income. If I didn't use that debt, I might have quit, given up, and ended up at a job that maybe I wasn't fulfilled at. Maybe I wasn't getting paid my worth at. But I used debt for good to accelerate my growth and my opportunity. This business here at Champion Development and the Health and Wealth Academy. See, I did what some people do. I struggled for years saying, I'm going to figure out how to build a business on my own. And years later, I was like, no progress. And that's really frustrating. It starts to be defeating. One of the best decisions I made is I found a coach and a mentor. And it was a big investment at that time in my life. I was really scared about it. But I put a credit card down, and within 90 days, not only did I recoup that investment, but I was 3x, 5x, and even 10xing my initial investment. And part of the reason why that happens is because, as Tony Robbins says, our lives transpire in our favor in the moments of decision. When you take massive action, the world, which, by the way, wants you to succeed, wants you to be healthy, wants you to have the body of your dreams, the world gets behind you in your favor when you take massive action, when you face fear. And on the flip side, when you continue to delay, you let fear take over you, you procrastinate, the universe, so to speak, the energy you put behind that will continue to get momentum as well. So you have a choice: delay or take massive action and make a decision. So I would challenge you to get out of the wait and save mentality, because I've seen it with many people before, and I've seen it with myself. When we wait and save, it's really sad, unfortunately, because sometimes 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years later, that person is in the same exact place. But I've also seen people, in the face of fear, take massive action and make a decision, even if it meant using debt for good. And 90 days later, 6 months later, a year later, they can't even recognize their body, their energy, their mindset, and who they're becoming. I see it happen all the time. So I hope this helps, guys, to shift your mentality a little bit about delaying and deciding, about rich debt, poor debt, and how debt is actually good, and why I personally, and a lot of mentors that I work with, have used debt for good, and why they almost always carry debt. If you have any questions on this, bring it to the call, and my team and I, we look forward to talking to you soon. I'll see you on your call.